I think we'll have our plan during the week in terms of what we need to do. We're a team that likes practicing a lot, so we certainly try and get as much of that in place as possible. These squads are big, so you've got a lot of players to get through. And then as we get closer to the match day, you kind of start focusing on what we need to do as a team, and we have those various conversations to make sure that we're all aligned and we're heading in the same direction. Well, time might not be on their side, but experience is. So that certainly helps a lot in IPL. That would be the first thing, and I think the second thing would be they certainly VJ, who battled last season a little bit. He wanted to come back and prove that he was a player to be reckoned with. He got himself into great physical condition, and his training and work ethic at the Nets has been second to none. So that has been see. And then Mohit's really, for me, an inspiration in many ways. I mean, he spent a decent part of last IPL, in fact, all of it, as essentially a net bowler for the Gujarat Titans. And for someone of his age to do that, I think is remarkable. He's an incredible professional, puts a lot of time into his game. So it was great for him to have the game, or certainly these last two games, and he's done really well. Well, I think last IPL we defended four totals and we chased down 6 totals. And this year we, as you rightly pointed out, we haven't defended a total yet, but it's early days in the tournament. I think there's a lot of moving parts in every team. I mean, last year we had quite a settled bowling lineup. This year we've had 1 or 2 injuries, and guys that we would probably almost become our bankers in crucial overs aren't necessarily ready to go for us in this tournament. So every team needs to be able to adapt to the different situations you're confronted with, and for us it's an opportunity just to have a look at that area in our game, to potentially reset or to make sure that we have within our squad the right guys doing certain jobs that you need in a bowling innings. I think importantly, the fact that we retained him from last year was testament to the fact that we thought he had massive potential as a player. So we believed that this year we wanted to take the next step with him, which was to give him more game time. So he was always going to have more game time. But he's got massive potential as a young player. I think the thing that stands out for me the most is that IPL can be quite an intimidating environment for a young guy, and he kind of steps up to the plate and loves the challenge, and he's got a lot of skills to his set of skills that he has, which is great. But I think more importantly, he kind of mentally just manages himself really well through the different games. I think he's just developed more into a class player. I mean, one could have seen that just with his run of form with the Indian team across the formats, but we always knew that he was going to be a class player. I think for me, the next level for Shubman, as we have discussed, is how he can take what he's got in his skills and how he can have a real impact on games of cricket. So he's done a great job for us at the top. In fact, our 10 over scores in the power in this year's IPL have really been up there, and he's been instrumental in most of them. So obviously that's quite exciting. So I think he's on an upward curve of progress. And he has a good thinking and idea and opinion about how he believes he can have the success he's looking to have. So it's great to see him do well. I mean, Kane Williamson's absence will be definitely felt. he's a great player, and I think he would have fitted really well into our team environment and what we stand for as a group. And I think he was really looking forward to that. He will be missed. He's an experienced player, and would have played a very important role for us as a leader and as a top-end batsman. That said, it provides a great opportunity for someone else to fulfill that role, and Sai Sudarshan has done a great job so far with that. Your second question, the role of an impact player, that's been an interesting one actually. I think often what it's done is it's kind of created a little bit of confusion around how to use the player, when to use that player, and if at all you should use that player. And also, if that player should be an international. So there's a lot of different things to ponder around it. And it's something that we kind of exploring at the moment. Does it take away the all-rounder? Possibly. You possibly need an all-rounder less because you can go for a specialist player in a certain position. My sense is that the teams are still feeling it out. And I'm sure eventually we'll settle on something that works for each team. Yes, he is available for selection. He's working really hard on his game at training, and he's kind of there and thereabouts. At any point, can be picked. I think the one thing that you have with the IPL squads is that they're big squads. So you'll look at guys in the dugout and you'll think, why is he not playing and why is he not playing? So you're going to get a lot of that. And then in the end, I think selection is largely around the types of skills an individual has that would suit the conditions and that would suit the opposition that we're playing against. So, every team will have a little bit of chopping and changing based on trying to gain that competitive advantage on those conditions and against whatever team you're playing. Not that I know of, and I'm not necessarily involved at that level, but not that I know of.